Hello everyone, welcome to Dwayne and Nidia Food, Travel and Fun, and today we have another Portuguese recipe, and I'm going to again attempt to do this in both languages. It'll be a bilingual video, and today I'm going to make Portuguese seafood rice, or as it's called in Portuguese, Arroz de Marisco. Let me show you what you're going to need in order to make this dish. Very easy, one pot meal, very simple, but very delicious. I think you'll all enjoy this one. So for making seafood rice, Portuguese seafood rice, Arroz de Marisco, you're going to need some seafood first and foremost, and then some different ingredients and seasonings that I'm sure you already have in your cabinet or in your refrigerator, in your freezer. But first of all, you can use whatever seafood you like, whatever seafood you have. That's the beauty of this dish. For this version that I'm going to show you how to make today, I'm going to use some shrimp, uncooked shrimp. I did buy this shrimp frozen. Isto é camarão que foi frisado e que eu comprei em 2 sacas. Tem aqui 2 libras, 2 pounds of frozen, deveined, cleaned, uncooked shrimp. Now, I would normally buy some scallops, fresh scallops, but because it's Thanksgiving week, couldn't find any. What I did get was a frozen mix of different seafoods, which I think will work perfectly in this dish. It's a mixture of shrimp, mussels, squid, and clams. Isto é uma mistura de tiscos. Isto é, não sei como se diz em português, mussels, mas é camarão, gambas grandes assim, camarão, e tem lula e tem amêijoas. É uma mistura que comprei. Parte da mistura já é cozida, isto vai ser só no fim que eu vou pôr dentro da panela. Now I have some, it was frozen codfish loin. This is uncooked fresh codfish, well, it was fresh, frozen codfish loin. And one thing I want to say is please retain all of the juices and things if you buy it frozen. If you buy everything fresh, it will be even better, but it doesn't have to be for this dish, and that's the beauty of it. Isto é bacalhau fresco, não salgado, e está aqui, estava frisado e tem 2 pastas do bacalhau aqui, mesmo com a água que o bacalhau foi frisado dentro. I have some butter, manteiga. I have 2 cans of whole baby clams, 2 latas de amêijoas já descascadas, enlatado. I have my favorite, and you guys know me, Frank's Red Hot Sauce. You can use any red hot sauce you like. Uma garrafa aqui de piripiri, qualquer piripiri ou pimenta, a calda de pimenta que vocês gostem, pode usar. I'm using extra virgin olive oil. Podes usar pouco de azeite, não faz diferença a qualidade do azeite que queres usar. I'm going to use minced garlic, my go-to, because it's so easy and so it's really, really good. But if you prefer to use fresh, feel free. You'll need about 3 full cloves that you're going to smash and put into the dish. Eu vou usar aqui o alho picado, que já vem assim que a gente já compra já feito. Mas se querem usar o alho fresco, pode usar 3 ou 4 dentes de alho. I'm going to use a whole can, or about 15 ounces, of tomato paste. Eu vou usar uma lata de pasta de tomate, ou salsa de tomate, calda de tomate. Eu não sei como é que se diz, pode ser destas. Agora, pimenta moída. This is my hot chopped Portuguese peppers. I'm going to use some of that. I'm going to use 2 packages of Sazon Goya, the orange package, com achiote e culantro. This is the package that I like to use when I make my Mozambique, and the package I like to use in pretty much all my recipes. I have some coarse ground salt. Isto é sal. Then I have paprika, colorau. Black pepper. Isto é pimenta preta em pó. And I'm going to use some dried parsley. I have some fresh parsley that grew in our own garden that I'll be using, but just to show you that you can use regular parsley flakes. Isto é salsa. A gente usa salsa picada. Pode ser salsa fresca que a gente pica e põe ao fim. I'm going to use some white wine. Isto é vinho branco. And last but not least, 2.5 cups of regular whole grain or long grain rice, not the instant kind. I'm using river rice here, but any long grain rice will do. A gente usa 2 copos e meio de arroz. Última coisa, 2 fairly decent, medium to large size diced onions. Isto é cebola picada. Foi 2 cebolas picadas aqui e é o que a gente usa para fazer a receita. Agora a gente vai juntamos ali ao fogão. Now I'll just meet you at the stove. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do is put some olive oil in your pot. Primeira coisa, azeite na panela. I'm going to put my stove at medium heat, and I'm going to put about, I'm estimating, but I'll write the entire recipe in the description, 6 to 8 tablespoons of olive oil. 6 ou 7 colheres de sopa de azeite. Now, I'm going to add all the onion. But I'm going to wait until the oil gets hot enough, and that'll take a minute. While we're waiting, I'm going to get my garlic ready. And I'm going to add about 3 full tablespoons of garlic. 3 colheres de sopa de alho. E se estás usando o alho fresco, 3 ou 4 dentes de alho picados. 3 or 4 cloves if you're using fresh garlic. All right, I'm going to give this about a minute or so. And then after the garlic, I will add some salt. And that's when I'll add the paprika. Depois disto ficar quente, eu pôr a cebola e o alho, e vou pôr o colorau e eu vou pôr o sal. And last up for the seasonings, black pepper. E depois eu vou pôr a pimenta preta em pó. All right, this is getting kind of hot now. Let me get my spoon. Getting hot, and here goes. You can hear the sizzle of the onions. Yeah, you only have to heat it to about a minute or two. It gets to temp very quickly. And put the entire diced onion in there. A gente põe a cebola picada aqui. Quando o azeite ficar quente, é que a gente põe. Depois, as 2 colheres do alho já picado. Here, the 3, I'm putting 3 in total. 3 colheres do alho picado, 3 tablespoons of garlic. I know it sounds like a lot, but trust me, it'll make it awesome. Há pessoas que não gostam muito de alho, a gente pode usar um pouco menos, mas eu gosto muito do alho nas comidas que eu faço, porque estou usando 3 colheres. Colheres de sopa. Agora, a gente vai pôr uma coisinha de sal, aqui assim. E eu vou usar uma colher de colorau. I'm going to use, and I'm now adding about a tablespoon-ish or so of what I'm doing here, smoked paprika. So you will want paprika to be added now. Depois de pôr o colorau, a gente vai misturar até a cebola, até a cebola ficar molinha. Okay. The onion is getting soft now. It's been about 2 or 3 minutes. I'm going to continue to stir this to get that onion nice and soft. A gente quer que a cebola fica mole. Estou a misturar para não ficar pegado ao fundo. E agora a gente vai pôr uma colher de sopa pimenta moída. I am adding 1 heaping tablespoon of Portuguese style, and I'll show you this particular brand, Portuguese style hot crushed peppers. I'm also going to add about half of a teaspoon of black pepper, metade de uma colher de chá de pimenta preta em pó. Mix everything up. Get that all mixed up. And the last seasoning before we add in a few extra ingredients will be the goia. Última coisa que eu vou pôr aqui com a cebola e com o alho e com os temperos vai ser a goia. Quando a gente usa goia não tem que pôr muito sal, porque a goia já vem salgado. When you use goia, you're going to adjust your salt level because this is it's basically a seasoning blend that already has some salt in it. Okay, this is getting nice. Time to add 1 can of tomato sauce. Agora a gente vai pôr uma lata deste tamanho de caldo de tomate. There we go. Put the whole thing in there. Gives you that rich, deep tomato color. Get it all out. Use your spoon to get it inside. And we're gonna let that mix up for a minute or so, for a bit, and be back once we're ready to add our water. Look at this delicious tomato and onion garlic based sauce. It smells amazing in here. Alrighty, now I'm going to add 4 cups of water, but depending on how much sauce you like, you may want to add a little bit more, but I kind of like the sauce. I like it not dry, which means I like to dip my bread in sauce, so I'm probably going to keep checking. And if you want it more saucy, before the rice is completely cooked, just add a little bit more at the end. Agora eu vou pôr água, 4 copos d'água que eu vou pôr aqui. I measure my water by using my electric pot, so I have a little bit more to add. To get to my 4 cups, 4 copos d'água. A gente vai usar 2,5 copos de arroz, a gente usa 4 copos d'água. Se gostas de mais caldo, antes do arroz ficar tudo cozido, a gente pode usar mais água para ficar mais ralinho. Okay, so now we have it going on in here. Now, while this is cooking down, oh, it does smell great. I'm going to add my hot sauce now. Agora eu vou pôr a pimenta, caldo de pimenta, mas eu gosto muito desta marca americana, mas a gente pode usar o piri-piri que a gente gostar. Eu vou pôr, nem sei, I'm not even going to measure this, folks. I like my stuff a little zingy and a little spicy, so when you use red hot, it is a little salty, it is a little vinegary. Esta qualidade de piri-piri, quase todas as qualidades de piri-piri, vem com um pouco de vinagre e um pouco de sal, so a gente tem que pôr o nosso gosto. Before we completely finish this dish, though, we will do a final tasting, and everyone really takes the opportunity of making that final tasting, get the seasoning levels and the salt level to where they're comfortable and where it tastes good for them. That's also where you look to see whether or not you need more liquid at the end, depending on how thick you want the seafood rice to be. Antes da gente acabar a fazer esta comida, a gente tem que experimentar um pouco do caldo e um pouco da comida para ver se tem o sal que a gente gosta e os temperos que a gente gosta. A gente tem que, no fim, ver a pôr mais para chegar ao ponto que a gente gosta, da maneira que fica gostoso. Okay, now I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of butter. You can use unsalted butter at this point. Put it right in that liquid. And now is when I like to add the rice. Eu pus 3 colheres de manteiga. Pode usar a manteiga sem sal. E agora eu vou pôr os 2,5 copos do arroz. Well, most people like to wait until it's boiling before they add the rice, but I think it's actually okay to add it right before the boiling point. Há muita gente que diz que a gente só põe o arroz quando o caldo está a ferver. Eu espero às vezes, mas não precisa. A gente pode pôr, agora isto está quase em ponto de ferver e eu já pus o arroz. Vá um pouco mais depressa desta maneira. Mas eu gosto do arroz que fica bem cozido, mas que não fica muito inchado. I don't like my rice to get all big and puffy and dried out. I like everything to be really saucy. So I'm going to watch this very carefully to make sure that I add additional liquid as needed. I didn't mention it before, but I did retain the liquids from my canned clams and from my seafood, and this will add more liquid, so I will be probably in a good spot with my 2,5 cups of rice. Como se diz ao princípio que a gente ia usar o líquido que vem das latas das amêijoas e que vem com o camarão e que vem com o peixe e com o marisco. A gente põe isto tudo no fim e vai fazer mais líquido. Talvez a gente não vá precisar de mais água e não vai ficar com o caldo e com a comida muito basta. Eu não gosto de comer com muito arroz, eu gosto de mais caldo, com o arroz dentro do caldo, para fazer mais caldo, para a gente põe o pão por cima e come assim com uma colher. Se fica muito basto, fica quase como uma paella, e isto não é da maneira de paella que eu quero fazer. I don't want this to be like a big dry rice dish like a paella. I want this to be a seafood rice dish that's more soupy and saucy. Agora eu vou deixar isto a cozer até o arroz ficar cozido, ou quase cozido. Não fica cozido totalmente. Eu vou cozer até quase no fim e vou começar a pôr o marisco. I'm going to start adding the seafood before this gets to a complete cooked set of... I'm going to actually add the seafood right before the point where the rice is completely cooked is what I'm trying to say. So this is cooking away, and I've had to lower down to a low flame. And you can see it's getting pretty thick. I'm going to watch this carefully because I'm going to be adding some stuff pretty soon to see what the liquid level looks like. But you need to stir it, otherwise the rice will stick. Já está quase a ferver, a gente tem que estar sempre com isto a mexer, senão vai ficar pegado no fundo. O arroz fica pegado no fundo se a gente não está sempre a ver e olhar e a misturar. E está ficando um pouco baixo, mas a gente vai ver quando a gente pôr o líquido que vem no marisco para ver se vai precisar de mais água ou não. I'm going to wait until I add the seafood in about a minute to let you know whether or not I need to add any more water. And then of course we'll do a taste test at some point to see if we have to change or add anything to the seasonings. Eu vou também experimentar o caldo para ver se a gente vai precisar de mais sal ou de mais uns temperos ou mais pimenta antes da gente pôr tudo no fim. The first thing I'm going to add is my raw codfish loin, and I'm not going to chop it up. It'll do that on its own. I'm going to add it carefully so it doesn't splash me back in the face to this hot mixture of rice and seafood. There was liquid in it, that nice codfishy liquid, to add that seafood essence to my stew. You can see what it looks like here. And the next thing I'm going to do is throw in the 2 cans of clams, which also, as you can see, has quite a bit of liquid. Adding more to the liquid. The canned clams are cooked, but it comes with a lot of liquid and you really can't overcook it once it's in a stew-like form, so it'll be okay. Eu vou pôr as 2 latas agora das amêijoas que já vêm cozidas, mas já vem enlatado com muito líquido. É por isso que eu gosto de pôr agora aqui enquanto o arroz ainda está a cozer. Eu pus o bacalhau, mas não cortei o bacalhau em fica aqui e vai desfazer pouco a pouco. Estás a ver que me pus as postas do bacalhau aqui deste tamanho, mas a gente pode cortar antes de servir. Não precisa ficar picado, nem cortar, nem nada, senão às vezes fica muito pequenino e a gente já não vê o bacalhau, nem o peixe, nem as postas de peixe no arroz. Agora a gente vai esperar até isto cozer por mais uns minutos. We're going to wait while this cooks up for a few minutes before we add the last few things, which will be the wine, the shrimp, and the cooked seafood. As últimas coisas que a gente vai pôr aqui nesta panela vai ser o vinho, o camarão e o marisco que já veio cozido. Okay, so this is looking beautiful and it is at a very slow boil, getting a little thicker. The rice is starting to cook, and of course we'll fully cook that onion before we're done with this dish. But now it's time for the wine. I'm adding 1 cup of wine in here to add some more liquid to this whole thing as it continues to cook the rice and before I add the last of the seafood. Seafood cooks very quickly. We don't want to overcook the seafood here. Eu vou pôr agora 1 copo de vinho branco aqui, vai fazer mais líquido enquanto a gente está a cozer o arroz, e ao fim eu vou pôr o marisco que já está aqui, uma mistura de marisco que já está cozido, e só a lula que não está cozida, mas a lula a gente coze tão depressa. E o camarão também só leva uns minutos. Eu quero pôr isto ao fim porque não quero que ficaram muito secos, fica mais como uma borracha se a gente coze muito. Mas primeiro o vinho. Now the cup of wine. It'll add a lot of liquid here, folks. Don't be afraid of the liquid because the rice is not done. Vou pôr agora o copo de vinho inteiro aqui Mas não tenha medo de pôr o copo de vinho, que ainda o arroz não está tudo pronto, ainda vai a puxar para o líquido, para isto ficar um pouco mais baixo, e ao fim é que a gente põe o resto do marisco. Seafood is at the very, very end, and we'll be back as the rice is completely cooked. So, rice is cooking away. I'd say it's 3/4 of the way done, but see how it's getting a little too thick? I really like it more saucy. This might be perfect for you. I like it a little saucier. I'm going to add a little bit more water. I know I still have a little seafood with a little liquid left, but I do like mine saucy. Eu vou pôr uma coisinha de água, tá ficando um pouco mais baixo demais para o meu gosto. Se vocês gostem de comer isto um pouco mais baixo, não precisa pôr mais água, mas como eu gosto com o arroz de marisco que está com mais caldo, eu vou pôr mais uma coisinha de água. Eu sei que eu ainda tenho o líquido que está no marisco e que está no camarão, mas eu pus mais uma coisinha, talvez meio copo, para ficar mais ralinho. Wow, this is looking great. My liquid level is great. You can see the rice, everything here, and the rice is just about cooked, which is great because I still need to cook my shrimp. I am adding the shrimp to my seafood rice. Vou agora pôr o camarão aqui para cozer. Não leva muito tempo para cozer. Eu não quero cozer o camarão demais. Cheira bem. This is looking good. O camarão coze às vezes 2 ou 3 minutos, mas fica aqui enquanto o arroz fica mesmo molinho, está quase tudo cozido. E agora a última coisa vai ser o marisco aqui, que está quase tudo cozido, que já estava e tem um pouco mais líquido. E quero isto ir ao fim, que as lulas picadas assim tão pequeno, fica cozido muito depressa. This seafood mixture is partially cooked. The only thing that is not cooked is the squid, which cooks very, very quickly. There is some liquid in here. It'll add more liquid to the dish. I'm going to add this now. Agora é que vou pôr o marisco aqui ao fim. Beginning. If you're using seafood that's in the shell, this is perfect. You'd have to add it a little sooner, probably closer to when I put in my raw seafood. Wow, this pot is so full. This is just about ready, folks, and I'll show you when it's all finished. All right, all the seafood is here. Everything is very close to being completely cooked. Keep mixing it, folks. You don't want that rice to stick, but look at this. Look at this. It's just amazing. It smells amazing. It's soupy, it's ricey. The seafood is well cooked. The last thing you add is your chopped fresh parsley or your dry parsley, whichever one you have. And you put that and mix it all up in there like this. You still need a minute or two of continued simmering here, especially to make sure that any seafood is completely cooked, but not overcooked. Última coisa que a gente pôs aqui na panela foi a salsa picada, assim ao fim. Tá sempre a mexer para o arroz não ficar pegado ao fundo da panela. Tá aqui as amêijoas, camarão. As postas de peixe ainda está aqui, mas já estão a desfazer. E o arroz já estava cozido quando eu pus o marisco aqui ao fim. The rice was already cooked when I added the last of the seafood, so it's really about just getting that shrimp. Oh, look at this, folks. It smells amazing. And really, the squid was the really only uncooked thing in that last batch. And the squid basically cooks on command when you put it in this hot simmering liquid, so you want to just keep it going. It is time now, before you put this to rest and consider it finished, please do a final taste test. Be very careful if it's very hot. Make sure that you're happy with the way the rice is cooked and the way the onion is cooked. Those are really it. And if you want to try some of the seafood, now would be an okay time to see if you have to give it a few more minutes. Give it a taste test. So in my book, this really doesn't need anything. It's delicious. A gente tem que experimentar para os temperos aqui ao fim. A gente pega no colher, e experimenta o caldo e vê se está tudo cozido ao gosto que vocês gostem. O arroz tem que estar, sem estar trincar, tem que estar macio e a cebola tem que estar cozida e a gente não quer que o camarão nem o marisco fique cozido a mais. A gente pode ver aqui que está tudo bem cozidinho, isto já está pronto. E os temperos, se a gente quer pôr mais pimenta ou mais sal, agora vai ser o tempo melhor para fazer isto antes de servir. Já está pronto. This is finished. I'm going to plate it up and we're going to taste it. Wow, this looks great.
All right, well, I guess this is where I come in.
This is where Dwayne tastes what I just created in the kitchen.
I'm gonna use the shrimp that's peeled, so this stuff.
I tasted one, did not taste overcooked to me.
No, it's very good. And then I like a little bit of squid there, tentacles, that's nice. I like that there's a variety. A lot of...
I do want to say, since I'm right here with Dwayne as he's tasting it, that right before you serve it, a couple of squeezes of lemon, fresh lemon juice on top makes it. You can also cover it with a few strips of pickled Portuguese peppers and add anything that you might want to enhance the flavor once it's on the table in terms of more salt, pepper, anything you like. But this is, what do you think?
No, the lemon brightens it up. I did squeeze a bit. As always, we love our lemon.
It smells great. It's time for dinner.
You know what I haven't gotten?
What?
Maybe I'll dig around. Fish.
Oh, the fish probably sunk to the bottom at that point.
I'm gonna have to go find a piece of fish. No, that's a shrimp.
Okay. Well,
really
that's
good. But that's okay. I'll get to the fish.
That's it, folks. This is...
No, it's excellent. It is. The pepper, between the pepper and the lemon, it's kind of nice. The pepper gives it that little kick. The lemon brightens it all up. And the wine comes through too, as well. I like the, and that's just a dry white, right?
I used a very dry white.
Yeah, it's a very nice combination. Goes great with all the seafood, so.
Right.
Yeah, I'll have a couple of these bowls.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, agora para o final, quando a gente põe à mesa, a gente pode pôr uma coisinha de sumo de limão por cima. Há muita gente que gosta de pôr sumo de limão por cima de marisco. Pode-se pôr mais sal e pimenta ao gosto. E isto está pronto para servir. I just want to apologize for anyone that I've offended with my butchered Portuguese, but I always say this, I'm an American girl, born to Portuguese parents, and doing the best I can to keep the traditions and the culture alive. Muito obrigada por ver this video. Thank you so much for watching our videos. Dwayne, Nidia, Food, Travel, and Fun. Please subscribe and hit that like button.
Tell your friends. And I think her Portuguese is great, so there.
He doesn't speak
Much
Portuguese.
better than mine.
He doesn't speak Portuguese, so
it doesn't
muito
count.
obrigada por ver o vídeo. Thank you so much por tudo. E obrigada.
Obrigado. See, I spoke Portuguese.